How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the Montpellier career mode episode number 25. And before we head into the games of today's episode, we had a quick scout report. Two of the scouts were returning from their duties, so we had one from Egypt and one from Iceland. They were coming back. We had a couple of interesting players, nothing amazing. There were a couple of ones that looked like they might be okay, but that was probably about it. I think the most exciting one is Miel Langlois, but I had to go and release a player from my actual youth academy before I signed him. Did that. There were a couple of players that just looked like they weren't quite going to be ready. I don't mind players growing over time, but there were just some that were, I think, 40 rated. Even though they had some sort of potential, they're just not going to develop into a good enough player in this career mode anyway. So decided to get rid of a few of them and bring in Langlois and free up a bit of space as well. We have a lot of players in that youth academy, so I think I can afford to get rid of a few players that just aren't going to make it in this one. We head into the first game though, and it was in the quarterfinals of the League Cup up against Lille. Now this is a good team really. They've got some very good players in the league, and we wanted to get as far as possible in the League Cup. Obviously, it would be lovely to win it, but I knew that it was always going to be a challenge when we drew Lille in this round. Luckily for us, we started off pretty well. Sambia runs down the wing. It seems to be quite a common theme. A few teams just underestimate how good our wing backs are and how far forward they'll go. And this time it was no different. Sambia running down the wing, goes in, cuts inside, takes the shot, and keeper probably should have done a bit better. It was hit right at him and he just misses it and it goes straight through him. So a bit disappointing from the keeper there for Lille, but disappointing from us at the other end shortly after, as more poor defending on our part leads to another goal from us conceding. We seem to concede just a few poor goals here and there, just switching off defensively, not paying attention, and there you can see again just a little bit poor. Last ditch tackle luckily from Stambouli means that we do go ahead and keep the shot out, and again another great bit of play from him. He was fantastic in this game. He really did keep us in it in the first half, made some really key tackles, really good on the ball, and just kept us in the game really. And again, as you can see, another great block just to end the first half there. And really Lille were probably in the driving seat in that first half. They played pretty well. They looked like they were looking for that second goal to maybe try and get ahead in this game, maybe kill the game off after that. But in the second half we very much tried to get back in the game again, and if it wasn't for some good saves again by Horvath, we might have struggled to get back into this game. As you can see, another very good save from our American keeper. Just I didn't really expect him to save that, to be honest. I was quite surprised when he did go ahead and make the save, but Horvath does make the save and we are still in the game. And after that we sort of didn't really have any more chances, neither did they though. And it was a pretty dull second half really, only a couple of chances, and we went into extra time, leaving it late as always. I think we also went into extra time against PSG in the previous round as well, and we had to leave it late as well in this one to get back in the game. But we did get one chance here just before the end of the first part of extra time. Galan plays it into Tuma, who was off the bench. He takes the shot again and, well, gets a bit lucky if I have to be honest. And Kubatuma scores his second goal in 2 games after only playing 2 games for the club as well. So he's having a fantastic first few games for the club. Considering the team we put out, I should mention this as well, we did put out a very rotated side, as Lille did go ahead and equalise just before the referee could blow his whistle for half time. Mentioning the team we put out, it was a very rotated side. Obviously we had a game before that, and we were also prioritising the game against PSG in the league, as we still had a small chance of possibly winning the league title if we could beat them. So I was sort of prioritising that more because, you know, you never know. At this point, if there's still a chance, we always have to go for it. And the cup, as much as I want to win it, I still believed in my players that I put out to maybe try and scalp a result, and that is exactly what we did. Dennis Mann with the final goal in this game. We did bring him on off the bench, and he goes ahead and puts the ball in the back of the net. Actually, did we bring him on, or was he starting? I can't remember if he started or not in this one. But he does go ahead and score anyway. It doesn't matter nonetheless. Dennis Mann picking up, I think it was his 4th goal in the competition. He was fantastic in this one already. And that is how the game ended. We finished it 3-2. I think overall, like I said, with the rotated team we put out, you can't be too disappointed. I think we played relatively okay, considering it was a very rotated team. The substitutes I made, it was definitely a weakened subs bench as well, so overall, I can't be too disappointed. And I think some of the young players did really well to come on and put a little bit of a shift in and make a little bit of an impact as well on that game. But we'd have to put that to the back of our minds, like most of the games, because we were in a run of sort of weeks where we just had game after game after game. I think this is the third week in a row where we had just a game every 2 or 3 days, and PSG were the next team to face us. We had to go to the Parc de France to hope to extend our unbeaten run against them to 3 games. We had beaten them in the Cup, we'd beaten them in the league previously at home. Could we beat them one more time in the league? Well, it was always going to be difficult, and straight away PSG show that they are the team in the driving seat in this game. Fantastic goal by Neymar, lovely bit of play from PSG as they worked it, and we found ourselves with a little bit of a mountain to climb early on in this game. 6 minutes in and we've already conceded. I was hoping to maybe make it to half time at 0-0 and then address how PSG are playing and see if we can combat that, but they were just fantastic in this first half. They really did step it up. They clearly weren't wanting to lose 3 games in a row to us, in a season. So it was, luckily for us, a few good saves from Omlin and some fairly decent defending. It did keep PSG out and gave us a chance in the 37th minute. Delors holds the ball up, plays in Laborde, who hits it first time, and Navas doesn't move. What a goal that is by Laborde. Does the Tim Cahill boxing celebration as well. Lovely goal. He's really in a good bit of form at the moment. I was a little bit worried that he'd stop scoring and maybe he was going to find it really difficult to break into the team, but he's given me a very difficult choice to make of who I play in those 2 striker roles, because Delors is dropping in and out of form. He's still getting assists, as you saw there, plays in Laborde again. I thought I'd overcooked the chance here, took an extra touch, but luckily Laborde managed to hit it into the back of the net and make it 2-1 as we went into half time. Coming out into the second half, I completely forgot to record the first goal. My apologies, but PSG did go ahead and equalise. It's just unlucky really. A deflection heads into Neymar's path and he goes ahead and nets his brace in this game. 2 players on a hat-trick at this point, and we were hoping to not concede another one. I'd take a draw at this point. We weren't playing at our best. I think really the run of games had taken out of the players. Clearly a little bit of fatigue setting in, but sadly for us, in the 78th minute, Neymar goes ahead and completes his hat-trick. I'm not 100% sure what Michelin was doing. It was just a really unorthodox bit of play. I think he was going for the overhead clearance, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. I'll be having a few words with him at the full-time whistle about that goal. That is probably his fault, but Neymar gets ahead of the man and puts the ball in the back of the net and makes it 3-2 to the home side. 19 goals now for Neymar this season, and what a goal. What a set of 3 goals that is for the Brazilian, and it could have actually been even worse here. David Neres, I mean, I don't know what he was doing, but he dribbling very nicely, and a deflection means that it goes out for a corner. Shortly after that, just in the dying stages of the game, we get a chance here. Manosi whips the ball in. Ibrahim off the bench, a chance for his first goal for the club, and he fluffs his lines. We did not have many chances. We took our chances when we got them, but we really should have probably equalised right there in the dying stages of the game. It wouldn't have been deserved, but it certainly should have been a 3-3 game there. If we'd have taken our chance right at the end. And sadly for us, it's a loss in the league and probably sees our chances of winning the league title now pretty much out of sight, I think. I think PSG have now won it. If there's anybody that's going to beat them, it's Marseille, who are on the same points as us. They might be on a little bit of a better run of form than us, but realistically, I think PSG have sort of run away, and that's probably going to be our chances of winning the league title over. Still doesn't matter though, we are going to be heading for that second or third place ideally. That is my aim for the end of the season, and also possibly finishing in the as champions of the Europa League, not for Europe, but of just the Europa League. So we would have to get past Stade Rennais or Stade Rennes as we face them in the round of 16 stage. It would mean we would have to come back from conceding a goal early on in the first half though, as you can see here. I read the pass wrong, thought he was going to shoot it, and he took a nice little step over to one side, and Denayer is outfoxed by I think it was Rafinha, the current Leeds man now, but still at Rennes in this save. We were absolutely dreadful in that first half. Honestly, we could not get anything going. We couldn't get out of our own half. We couldn't really play the ball at all. And if it wasn't for some maybe better play in the first half from our defence, we could have been down a couple more goals. Luckily for us, we had a chance early on, and Shotar really should have scored that, really. But we did go ahead and capitalise for another chance shortly after. Yari Vasharin gets the ball played into him by Balo Touré, and of course he's going to hit that, and keeper has no time to react. Vasharin puts it in, and he nets his second goal in the competition as we go ahead and draw level in the game. A really poor game up until this point by our standards, and really in the second half it was a very difficult second half. I think Stade Rennes just tried to make sure they weren't conceding another one. They didn't want to concede too many away goals, and were a little bit more afraid to attack. They did have a chance to go ahead and win the game in the dying stage of the game, but player rushed his shot, and in the end it ended 1-1, and that would probably benefit us more than the home side, as we went in to the second leg with an away goal, and knowing that if we actually drawed it 0-0, we'd go through on away goals ruling as well. So overall, I'm okay with that. I think going and getting just a draw, getting that crucial away goal as well, heading into the second leg, it's always going to be important. You can see just as we finished this, we did have a player sale. Clement Vidal, his contract was up at the end of the season. I was actually quite surprised the team came in and bought him, but they did. He's been bought for 1.35 million, and he will be heading to Portugal, I think Famalicão, in Portugal. So I'm happy with that. We're cashing in on a player that I wasn't going to renew a contract for, so he will be leaving. It is an original player at Montpellier, an original youth player, but he's not good enough. He's a bit slow, he's too short, he's just not very good. So he'll be leaving at the end of the season, and we do go ahead and cash in on him, which is nice. And to finish off the episode, we face Olympique Lyonnais, who are having a pretty torrid season. Maybe losing Jason Denayer has been the key to their poor season. I mean, they're not playing badly. They're still, I think, 5th or 6th in the league. But by their standards, they're wanting to be up in that second, challenging for the title, I imagine, this season. And they were not having a good season whatsoever. And we really did compile their misery as Delors goes ahead and scores. What a goal that is from him. Hits it first time. No chance for Lopez in goal. And he nets his 13th goal of the league season as well. So Laborde and Delors both sort of netting similar amounts of goals already this season. I thought Delors had a better season, and he has when you look at his stats, because he's obviously had way more assists, but both in terms of goal scoring having a similar season in the league at least. Sadly for us, we just switched off almost straight away from the goal. Inaki Williams gets his 4th goal of the season. So that's probably the key to Lyon's problems. Inaki Williams not scoring, and them failing to have any sort of threat going forward. He does go ahead and score in this game, but shortly after, 25th minute, Troy Parrott's played in and dinks it over Lopez as he rushes out. Troy Parrott, former Spurs man, what a goal this is. I know chipped shot goals are OP in this. I try not to score too many of them, but I think the opportunity came for him, and he's lacking a little bit of confidence in front of goal recently. He's not been scoring as many, but that shows that he still has the ability to score quality goals when he's called upon, and it's a really good goal by the Irishman. Sadly for us, just before we ended the half, Hoyo Kowalski, who was in as a bit of rotation in this game, gets sent off now. The youngster, I think, picks up his first career red card, and it's unfortunate. I think it is a red card, probably. He was through on goal, but maybe a yellow would have maybe sufficed. I don't think it was necessarily vicious. I'm not sure if he was about to take the shot. I'm not 100% sure on the new rulings if that actually would have been a red card, but wouldn't matter. The referee made his decision, and Hoyo Kowalski was sent his marching orders. Luckily for us, Omlin in goal makes the save and ensures we are still 1 goal up and in the lead in this game going in at half time. I made a couple of changes at half time, went a little bit more defensively, went 3 in midfield, brought somebody on obviously to replace Kowalski, and we actually went out, scored an early goal, caught them off guard, and who is it? It's Lays Melu, goes ahead and picks up his first goal of his club career here at Montpellier, and probably nets the winning goal, as at that point we just sat back, defended, wasted time, knew that we needed the win and it was crucial for us, and they had a couple of chances towards the end but meant nothing. And overall, what a win that is. I think they really made a mistake conceding that third goal. It allowed us just to sit back, hold possession, and just comfortably see the game out. And overall, I think Lyon will be very disappointed with losing that game. Troy Parrott picks up man of the match, 2 assists and a goal in that game, so what a game for him. I did choose to bring off Delord to give him a break. He'd played a lot of football over the past few weeks, so thought I'd give him a break and leave Troy Parrott up front. We were winning the game as well, so I didn't think we were in desperate need of bringing on any more, or leaving on a top quality striker and maybe give Parrott a run out, and seems like it was a good choice. That is going to spell the end of the episode though. We sit in 3rd place. Yes, we did lose to PSG. They're on 72 points. They are quite a way away from everybody. 12 points away from Marseille above us and 15 points away from us. So I think it's probably unlikely we're going to win the league, but it is still in contention. I think we can still maybe get a little bit closer and make it a little bit more of a challenging season end for PSG. But that is going to spell the end of the episode. Hope you enjoyed watching. Do leave a like if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe for more Career Mode content. And I'll see you for the next episode of the Montpellier Career Mode very soon. So thanks for watching and goodbye.